You want to know how a single knock on Thanksgiving morning can flip your whole world upside down? Let me tell you something. I used to think I knew what having a bad neighbor meant, but I was so wrong. You're about to hear the wildest Thanksgiving story you never asked for, and I swear, every word is true. Thanksgiving, right? Supposed to be peaceful, your family, the smells of cinnamon and sage in the air, maybe the parade on TV if you're into that. Ours was the first one in our brand new house. My wife, my little girl, and me, all up before sunrise, still grinning like fools because, well, we'd finally made it. Suburbs, shiny appliances, granite countertops, the whole American dream. And yeah, we were the only black family on the block, and you do notice it, but folks seemed polite enough. Quick nods, those neighborly waves you do when you're both dragging the trash cans out in your pajamas. I thought, cool, we're gonna be just fine here. My wife, she's the backbone of our family, humming along to old R&B, sliding around the kitchen in fuzzy socks while she whips up sweet potato pie. Our daughter is at the island, coloring a picture of a turkey with the tongue-out concentration only a 7-year-old can pull off. And I'm on turkey duty, apron on, going all in with my secret butter herb rub. I catch a second just to look around, soaking in the good life, sun coming through the window, the house warm, safe, ours. And then comes this knock at the side door. Not the gentle, "Hey, can I borrow some sugar?" type. I mean, it's a thump thump thump, the kind that makes you freeze. My wife shoots me a look, my daughter peeks up, and I can already feel the air shift. My wife goes to answer, still smiling, because she's got more grace than I'll ever have. Through the window, we see our neighbor from next door, a woman we'd only ever seen in the same brown tracksuit, scowling, usually dragging her yappy dog behind her. She opens the door, ready to throw out a happy Thanksgiving, and gets cut off by this woman who storms in, jabs a finger past my wife at me, and just screams. Not shouts. Screams. "What do you think you're doing with that bird? I knew you people were up to no good the second you moved in." Yeah, you heard me right. I'm standing there, holding a raw 20-pound turkey like an idiot, trying to figure out if this is a prank or if I've stepped into an episode of Candid Camera. My daughter's eyes go wide. My wife is frozen at the door, all the warmth sucked out of the room. I just stutter, "I'm sorry. But that was a mistake." She goes off even louder, barges in, talking about black market poultry operations, accusing us of selling diseased birds out of our kitchen. I almost dropped the turkey, for real. My wife finally gets her words back and tells the woman to leave, firm but polite, but you can't reason with crazy. The woman, let's just call her Thanksgiving Karen, pulls out her phone, dials 911, puts it on speaker, and proceeds to give the wildest Oscar-worthy performance. Fake crying, talking about trafficking, saying she's afraid for the neighborhood. You want to know what real fear feels like? It's standing in your own kitchen, your daughter crying, your wife shaking, and some neighbor is calling the cops on you because of the color of your skin. We wait, heart in my throat, adrenaline through the roof. I try to hug my daughter, tell her it'll be okay, but she just wants to know what we did wrong, and I can't even explain it. 10 minutes later, 2 police cruisers pull up. Sirens off, but the blue and red lights flicker through the blinds. Our quiet street suddenly has half the neighbors peeking out, watching the spectacle. My wife closes the blinds and mutters, "I can't have them all staring at us like we're criminals." But that's exactly what it felt like. I open the door before they can knock. 2 cops, one older, one younger. The older guy, let's call him Miller, just looks tired, like he's seen it all. The younger one, Albright, looks ready to write up a parking ticket at a kid's lemonade stand. Karen comes barreling out of her house, tracksuit flapping, shouting about bird trafficking. Miller just blinks. "Bird trafficking, ma'am?" She's flailing, pointing, describing dangerous smells. The younger cop starts scribbling notes. The older one just looks at me, then at the kitchen. "Mind if we take a look?" What else can I say? I show them inside. The whole happy kitchen scene feels poisoned now. Turkey on the counter, stuffing half prepped, my daughter cowering behind my wife. Karen is craning her neck in the doorway, desperate for them to uncover some secret criminal ring. Miller steps up, looks at the turkey, sniffs the air, glances at my daughter's coloring book. Then, thank God, he cracks a tiny smile. "So this is it." "That's it," I say. 20 pounds, bought at the grocery store. He nods, turns to Karen, and lays it down. Ma'am, you have wasted city resources and harassed this family on a holiday. Misuse of 911 is a crime. Her face falls, but she tries one last time, talking about noxious odors. Miller cuts her off. That's called rosemary, ma'am. Go home. They leave. She stands there, fuming, and finally storms off. The whole block saw everything. My daughter asks if the turkey is bad, and my wife just hugs her and says, "No, sweetie, it's perfect." But the holiday mood is gone, just like that. I want to give up, order a pizza, call it a day. But my wife, she squares her shoulders and fires up the oven. No, we're not letting her win. We're having Thanksgiving. And so we did. It wasn't the same, but we did it. That should have been the end of it. But nope. Next day, I get an email, official HOA complaint. Commercial poultry operation, noxious odors, the whole 9 yards. That woman just changed tactics. If she couldn't use the cops, she'd use the HOA. I'm fuming, ready to go scorched earth, but my wife keeps her cool, says we'll respond carefully. But then comes the twist. Saturday, there's a knock at the door. Her husband, bland, cold, not an ounce of apology, just says, "My wife can be zealous about neighborhood safety. You'll want to answer the HOA complaint." No remorse, just intimidation. That's when it hits me, the doorbell camera. We check the footage. Clear as day, Karen barging in, accusing us, the whole unhinged 911 call, all caught on audio. My wife's eyes light up. She thought it was her word against ours. She's wrong. We edit the video down and post it online, just the facts, no commentary. At first, it's just friends, then it explodes. 1 million views overnight. News outlets reach out. The world dubs her Thanksgiving Karen. Suddenly, she's infamous, and the HOA folds like a cheap chair, emails us, drops the complaint, apologizes, starts talking about reviewing procedures. Victory. But Karen isn't done. She starts telling new lies to the neighbors. They're loud. They throw parties, dealing drugs. The whole racist playbook. Neighbors avoid us. Then the petty stuff starts. Eggs on our garage, stolen newspapers. We document it all, but it's a war of attrition. We start feeling alone, like it's just us against the world. And then, an email. Not from a troll, but from a guy who used to live in our house. We're Latino. She did the same thing to us. Drove us out. He sends us the old HOA complaints. Same playbook, different family. That changes everything. We call a civil rights lawyer, Fair Housing Act, harassment, restraining order, the works. The lawyer is fired up, says it's the clearest case he's seen. We serve them papers. In deposition, our neighbor crumbles. The video, the history, the lies. Judge lays into her, calls her a bully, grants the order, recommends criminal charges. Her face goes ghost white. They move within months. Peace, finally. Thanksgiving, 1 year later. Same kitchen. Our daughter's helping with the sweet potatoes, the parade's on. I pull a 22-pounder out of the brine. I look across the yard. New neighbors, a big smile, and a coffee toast. No fear, no tension, just gratitude. For the first time, real peace. You'd think that's the end, but trauma lingers. For months, I'm still checking the doorbell app, flinching when a car slows down. My daughter gets scared when the bell rings. We have to heal, as a family, as a block. But slowly, the neighborhood comes around. The guy who avoided us brings a 6-pack over and apologizes for being a coward. Others follow, sharing their own Karen stories. Turns out, everyone was just scared, until we stood up. Months later, my wife gets a message from a woman in Ohio, Pakistani family. HOA president harassing them, until they saw our video. It gave them the roadmap to fight back, to win. Our nightmare became someone else's survival guide. Suddenly, our story isn't just ours. We're asked to speak at a national civil rights conference. I don't want to, my wife says. What do we want our daughter to remember? That we hid, or that we used our voice? She's right. We stand on that stage, terrified, and tell our story. 1,000 people stand and cheer. But the real ending isn't in some ballroom. It's right back in our kitchen. Thanksgiving, chaos, new neighbors, old friends, kids running everywhere. The table is full, the house is loud. My daughter, now 9, beams up at me, fearless. The doorway where Karen screamed is just another door. Now a passageway for laughter and good food. We turned a trauma into a community. We didn't just get our house back. We built something better, stronger. That deep, soulful peace. It's real. It's earned. And let me tell you, it tastes a whole lot better than the turkey. So now, let me ask you, what would you have done? Have you ever had to stand up to someone who tried to bully you out of your own life, your own home? Drop your story below. Let's talk about justice, about courage, about what it means to be a real neighbor. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, share it. Because you never know who's out there, waiting for proof they're not alone.